Bizperation is the podcast for leaders, dreamers, and entrepreneurs that want to work on purpose and be inspired in life and business. I'm Christy Jackson, speaker, author, and entrepreneur, and I'm passionate about helping you succeed. And if no one else has told you today, you are needed. So I'm bringing you podcast episodes with real lessons and strategy that you can use today.
Hey, have you heard of Local Search? Well, this is your fastest growing nationwide directory for Black-owned businesses. Make sure you share with your friends and list your own business. You can do so by visiting our website at www.localsearch.com. And make sure you download our app. It's available in the Apple App Store as well as Google Play Store. Thank you so much for the support. And remember, buy local.
Welcome to the Bizperation podcast, Katie Silversmith. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Christy. I'm so excited and honored to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So Katie runs the Thrive coworking space, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and Thrive and we're just really going to talk through the opportunities for pivot that were truly unexpected during this COVID-19 crisis. So Katie, will you start off just by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a social worker. I spent my career in the social work field working with individuals and families, mainly teens, young adults, and adults in a variety of nonprofits and clinical settings. And always knew that I really wanted to just help people solve problems. That's really what drives me. And so the job before this, actually, before I started Thrive Co., I was the director of another space. It was all for wellness professionals. So I was there since it was founded. So I got to see the building of the space. It's a little bit different from co-working. It's kind of an office sharing model. But I saw just this really cool model of a community for solopreneurs working and got to really hone my skills in operations. That's something that I'm really passionate about and has been present throughout my career, no matter what job that I'm in. And so my husband actually has a background in commercial real estate and kind of the business side of things. And so we decided to work together to create Thrive Co., which is a personalized co-working space. So basically our mission is to provide companies with access to the exact things that they need to be successful. So we have, office space, customized furnishings. We have a variety of concierge services. So really any business service that a company would need to be able to get up and running or stay up and running, like marketing or taxes help, CPA assistance, legal, whatever. We have partnerships with folks in the community that are experts in that area and that provide that to our members either free or at a lower cost. And then we have funding partners, venture capital and small business loans that are available to our members. And also a work perks program that's really designed to kind of meet some of the barriers that people face to being able to have a business, like childcare or transportation. And so it's kind of, we took the wraparound model from social work, which is about treating kind of the whole system around a person to help things get better in their life. We took that and applied it to businesses. So we opened about a year and a few months ago. It was in January 2019, and it's been great ever since. We have done 2 expansions, and we have about 100 members that are here. So we're a small space, but it's been just awesome. Really fun getting to work with such an amazing community of small business owners and seeing them thrive and be successful. So.
Yeah. And I just, I have been to Thrive Co. It's an absolutely beautiful space. And, what I want to say about that is, the mission translates, right? Just providing services and anticipating the actual needs that entrepreneurs will have, being a part of that community. I've been to, co-working spaces where there is this feeling of, if you're not like us, you don't belong here. Mm-hmm. And so I definitely don't feel that with Thrive Co. I feel that the service, you have thought about the variety of businesses that could benefit and actually thrive, in that space. So, I really truly appreciate you being so thoughtful about the mission and making sure that it's translated, because oftentimes it's on paper, but, it doesn't materialize actually in the space.
Well, thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. And our hope is that anyone who wants to have a business at Thrive Co can, so that there are no barriers. If there are barriers, we try and work with them to address that and figure out what we can do to help make that a reality. So I'm glad to hear it's translating, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So why do you think the co-working model works so well for startups?
Yeah, I think that I put a lot of thought into why. I mean, our model, which is a little bit beyond co-working, kind of like the services plus co-working, works. And I think that it's giving people a community that might not have it, right? So I'm a social worker. I don't have any experience in business, right? So I needed this community of partners to be able to be successful in my own business. And I think that that's kind of why our model works for members, is that they walk into a community of people that are cheering them on, that are rooting for them, that are actually, putting pen to paper and helping them with their business. So I think that that's really why, and that's the game changer for folks. We have quite a few people that are transplants to St. Louis, or that are kind of doing this in isolation, like solopreneurs, and that might not have family members who have owned businesses, and so it's really ideal for them because it just gives them this built-in community, and they can draw so many things from that community, which is nice. So.
All right. So, they say that it's all in a name, right? So tell me the story behind the name Thrive Co. Like, what was that process like picking the name? Did you have lots of options, or did you know, okay, this is it because it really explains why we're here?
Yeah, that's such a good question. So my husband and I went back and forth. We tried to come up with such a variety of names because Thrive is such a common word. Like, there are so many companies called Thrive, right? But we kept coming back to that because we kept having this image of like I don't know why. We knew that our logo was going to somehow relate to a succulent plant, because succulents, so they're kind of an interesting breed of plant. They can survive under really harsh circumstances and need very little to be able to thrive. And so that's kind of what we were thinking of as like the entrepreneurial spirit. Entrepreneurs just kick ass and work so hard every day, and they're creative and innovative. And so even under the harshest circumstances, they emerge, right? And so it was just kind of this reality of like, I don't know, the two kind of met, and it seemed like Thrive was the right word, in line with the succulent idea. And then we knew that we wanted to differentiate from the many Thrives that are in the world, and added the co at the end for both community and co-working. So in collaborating, I think there's so many different ways you can use it, but it just felt right. And it's stuck ever since. Luckily, the name was available, so we ran with it, and I've never looked back. So, and our logo actually has the succulent leaf as part of it, so to kind of highlight that.
Yeah. So you guys sound like us. I always say when we're, in interviews and just kind of talking about our business, we are living the business that we are running, right? So, we are entrepreneurs as well. So we have the same struggles, we have the same challenges. And so, I want to ask you, how have you had to rethink your business model or your service model, navigating through COVID-19?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are certainly all in this together and all going through it as business owners. And I think that helps a lot with our members, just to know that we too are a small business and trying to figure it out with them. So yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, so far we haven't lost any of our members. Our membership base has been holding strong, and we're really grateful to that. And we've kind of just pivoted to, fortunately, because we are space, but we also have all of these services on top. We've kind of pivoted in the short term to really emphasizing the service side more. So we've been doing, we started this Access series, which is biweekly events with experts in different fields. Most of them are members with us to try and promote their work and their business, because that's core to our model. And basically, they speak to different topics in business that people might need help with from the COVID lens. So actually today we have a session called Ask a Small Business Lawyer. So one of our members is a small business lawyer, and folks have submitted questions ahead of time and can do so on the call as well. But those are all virtual events. We've done a wide variety. So first it was kind of the event shift. We have an event every day, Monday through Friday, that members can participate in, a wide variety. And then we also have shifted to offering a virtual office membership. So we realized that a lot of folks, just out of necessity with childcare not being available because of schools being out and camps being out and all of that, and I don't know, health reasons, being high risk, they might not be able to physically come into a space. And so the virtual membership allows them to have the legal protection of having an address that is separate from their home address, because that can get messy, obviously, for a number of reasons. And still have access to the community and a lot of business services without having to physically be in the space. So that was one pivot we made, and we're actually partnering with a lot of companies to offer that to their teams that own businesses. Mm-hmm. So that's been kind of the main pivot. And then we're looking forward to reopening, because we're a small, I should say, we've never closed our doors because we have essential businesses that are members of Thrive Coast, that they've still been coming in. But we are looking forward to folks being able to slowly come back to the space. And because we're so small, I think that we're kind of well equipped to be able to transition back in that way. We have mostly office tenants who have private offices, so that helps for social distancing, and we're rearranging our space to make it, a safe option for folks to work out of.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you think that the co-working model is sustainable for the future, right? I mean, we're discovering new ways, and new systems that we believed worked for us, but during COVID-19, it's showing us that maybe we could have, rethought some of those things. They're not as effective as we thought that they were. And just one small example is working from home, right? I mean, the amount of people that are working from home now, and businesses are still able to run more efficiently, that maybe would not have offered that as an opportunity for their employees before. So, how do you see the future of co-working changing?
Yeah, that's a great question, and on a lot of people's minds, I know. So I'm actually a part of a couple different networks with space owners from all over the world, and we've been talking about this, and they're collecting new data on this very topic. But what they expect is actually co-working to do really well because of the pandemic. Obviously, none of us wish a pandemic on anyone, but obviously, and during stay-at-home orders, there's fewer people in spaces. Certainly in some spaces have to close temporarily, but they actually expect it to be really successful long term, because what they're finding is corporate downsizing is happening. So, corporations are not needing their 50,000 square foot offices anymore, or they can't make use of the way that it was set up for with social distancing. So they're expecting a lot of corporations to move to co-working for their executives or people that need to be on site and can't work at home. There's also the segment of the population that does have people living in their homes with them and are therefore not as productive as they might be. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, we were
Having
just
two
kind of
small
talking
children.
about that, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Yes. Having two small children and a very needy puppy, I can say that I'm getting very little done at home compared to when I'm at ThriveCo.
Yeah.
So I think that we've actually seen a rise in inquiries about our space since COVID started for that reason, because a lot of people are, trying to hold on to jobs that they have or their businesses, and they're realizing that in order to be productive, they need to actually get out of their home. So we welcome we have some new members who run essential businesses that have joined us in the last 6 weeks or so that we've been on lockdown. So I think that coworking is actually going to be okay. And I think that there's going to be a rise in coworking as a result, because it meets a need, that people have. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this is an opportunity too, where, entrepreneurs are, or if you've, had an idea or a thought, is this the time to start my business? Now's the time to do it. So I know we're going to see a rise in the number of businesses that will be starting, as a result of this. So, co-working seems to be that first safe space to kind of launch into, because, as you talked about, you have that community, you have those resources right, at your fingertips. So those that are listening and watching, if you're considering a co-working space to check out, and you have the opportunity to come and kind of spend a day or kind of do a tour. I know I did a tour and was able to kind of see, so you can maybe work there for an hour or so and just see what it feels like. And, check out ThriveCo. And there are other co-working spaces, around, but you have to find the one that is the best fit for you. Because Katie, do you agree that they all have a personality?
100%. And that's what's so cool about St. Louis's co-working spaces. I mean, it's the vast majority that are here are just locally owned, small, mom and pop shops, and they all have such a different energy and feel, and there's a need for all of them. It's such a vibrant network of spaces. So absolutely, you got to find the one that works for you and that feels right for you.
Yeah, so we're going to make sure that we leave your contact information and website and all of that, so that our viewers can follow up and kind of check out what ThriveCo has to offer. So this segment of our interview is one that I really enjoy, because this is sort of our top 5 about our guests that, we may not know about, top 5 details that we may not know about you. So answer top of mind, first thing that comes to thought, don't think too deep on it. Don't think too hard on it. Okay. All right. So here we go. First question. What is your sweet spot in life or business?
Ooh, okay. I would say in business, it's when my ambition is able to run free. I am extremely ambitious. So when I feel like I'm in a role where I can just constantly create and evolve and strive for something greater, I am golden.
I could give you a virtual high five on that. That's mine too, right? Like when I can be creative, I have the autonomy to be creative, and the clients are trusting the reason why they hired us to do the job, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So what compliment have you received that you've had a hard time believing?
Oh, that's a hard one.
We all get, people tell us all the time the things that we're doing so great, and sometimes it takes us a minute to actually feel it, right?
Yeah.
So what has it been for you?
Let's see. I guess whenever somebody's told me that I'm great at business, that has always been something where I'm like, I mean, it's new for me. This is my first foray into owning a business, and I have zero business experience whatsoever. So I feel like that's been really kind, and also something that I'm like, I don't know if I believe you, but I appreciate the sentiment. I'm just figuring out like the rest of us, right? We don't get into the business we're in because we love business. We get into the business we're in because we love what we're doing, right? Like the actual, not necessarily the running of a business, right? So I'm always like, well, I'm fooling somebody that I'm good at this.
The running the business part is like the means to the end, right? Like you said, it's really about the people, it's about the passion. And I'm telling you, if more people knew that we were all just trying to figure it out, I think that we all would have, I mean, more people would jump into business if they knew, right?
Totally. Totally. I have no idea what I'm doing on a daily basis, but fortunately, I know people who do know what they're doing, and I ask them.
Yes,
So,
that's why that networking community is so, so important.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, so I like to add this one just to kind of give a nod to those local businesses and restaurants that we really hope will be opening up very soon. So, what is your favorite attraction or a restaurant in St. Louis?
Oh, that is so hard. I think restaurant. I think my very favorite restaurant in like of all time is Olive and Oak. I don't know if you've been there. It's in Webster. It is out of this world.
Wow.
So it's a family-owned business, and they own another restaurant next door, Clover and the Bee, and they're opening an event space. And they just have a really cool story and mission. And the food is out of this world. So I think that that's where I'm running back to. When that's a possibility. And then I really miss all the attractions in Forest Park. Like my kids love to go to the Science Center and the zoo and the History Museum. And so I think those two things are the things I'm most excited about, and missing, and hoping they are doing okay. So.
Yeah, same here. We're hoping that everyone will be able to reopen, and start getting those folks back into their restaurants very, very soon. So yeah. I think you sort of addressed this earlier, but I'm going to ask it again. If you didn't run your company, if you didn't run ThriveCo, what job would you have?
Oh, that's hard. I think I've always kind of been drawn. Every job I've had has really been somehow related, even though it might be in social work or co-working, to the hospitality industry. So there's something about that, I think. And luckily, co-working, from your experience, is so much related to hospitality. So I get that need met here. But I always envisioned if I wasn't doing this line of work, I might be working in hotels or some way in that industry. So.
Yeah. All right. So tell us about one book that's on your bookshelf right now. What are you reading?
Oh, that's a great question. So I just finished rereading Company of One, which is by Paul Jarvis. If for any business owner out there, this is like changed my life. It is the biggest driver of how we run our business. And I wanted to reread it because I give people advice from it all the time. And I wanted to make sure I was up on it. So I just reread that. And then I was at what I have up to read is Making a Manager, I believe it's called. And I'm blanking on the author right now, but I'm not actually with my books. But yeah, that's next up on my list. I've heard really great things about it. So.
Okay, I'll make sure that I add that to my nightstand book stack, right?
I know. Yeah, that's where all we are too. Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Katie. So reputation is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So what do you want people to remember after listening to this episode with you?
I would like people to say that they just saw my heart. That's how I always feel as I interact with people. I hope that people see my heart, see that I believe in them, because I think that entrepreneurs and business owners are the most impressive people that I've ever met. I mean, across the board, the way that they just their own heart and struggle and passion and how that all meets is just so inspiring to me. And so I think that that's what I hope on a daily basis, that people that I meet feel my heart and know that it's huge and that I'm there for them. That's just what gets me out of bed every day is doing this. So, yeah.
Well, we want to make sure that those that want to follow up with you after this interview can do so. So why don't you tell us, how to reach you, the website, all of that good stuff. Where can we follow you on socials?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So our website is www.thrive, THRIVE-coworking, COWORKING.com. So thrive-coworking.com. And then we have an Instagram. I think it's thriveco.stl. That's also our Facebook handle. I don't even know. I'm one of those not technologically savvy people that we were talking about earlier, Christy. So I think that's right, Lingo. We're on LinkedIn. Luckily we have an amazing team member who knows how to handle all of that. So because I'm not a tech girl. And you're also welcome to call or email me anytime. My number is 314-810-6605. Email is katie@thrive-coworking.com.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Katie. I know that everybody just has so much on their plate each day, just trying to, be present with their families and keep the work going. So, we truly appreciate you taking a few moments to chat with us today. And we know that our listeners and viewers have been inspired and hopefully motivated to reach out and to start that business. If it's in your mind and in your heart, you've got to do it. What are you waiting for? You have a community that's here to support you, and we're here for you. So we can't wait to hear what you'll do next. Thanks, Katie. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Christy. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
The Bizperation Personal Think Tank Journal is now available. Did you know that your creativity is a valuable asset based on this? How you think determines how you thrive. The Bizperation Journal exercises the key thinking skills that make goal-getters successful. Get your copy today from Amazon or receive an autographed copy from the Bizperation.com website. We know that there are lots of podcasts that you could have chosen to listen to, so thanks for choosing ours. Go ahead and subscribe now so that you don't miss any episodes.